Now here again is the Reverend Otis Moss III. Otis, a commanding message on how to engage and confront evil in our world these days. I'm intrigued by the story you cited, Elie Wiesel, story of those in a concentration camp during the Holocaust, and the three perspectives of those in the camps, the optimist, the cynic, and then you use the term realist.
Realist, yes.
But where is faith in that? The realists survive, but what about the component of faith?
Well, the realist is the person who recognizes that God is going to show up. They have faith in God, but they are not putting parameters on when God will show up. So they have faith and hope.
You said it was your father who helped you understand how to confront evil.
Yes.
You have a beautiful 3-year-old son named Elijah.
Yes.
How are you helping Elijah do the same thing in this world in which we live?
By exposing him to a history of faith from his parents and from his grandparents. My father and mother directed evil in a unique way during the Civil Rights Movement, and we're sharing those stories with him.
And the evil of racism still rears its ugly head everywhere. How, tell us, walk us through, how do you help Elijah understand that evil and be prepared to engage it?
Well, the first piece is letting him understand that he's a child of God, that he's a creation of God, and knowing that he need not be belittled by a system or individuals. The second piece is to expose him to a variety of people who love him, because when you engage in love and with love, it doesn't make room for evil to occupy a place in your heart.
I can tell that you've had that experience. Your father, Otis Moss, marched alongside Martin Luther King in the Civil Rights Movement. You are now pastor for 6 years at the historic Tabernacle Baptist Church in Augusta, Georgia. You really are carrying on a distinguished and precious legacy. What does that mean to you, Otis?
Oh, it's a wonderful thing to be able to stand in the pulpit where Booker T. Washington spoke, where John D. Rockefeller spoke, where Charles Thomas Walker spoke, and recognizing literally I'm standing on the shoulders of my ancestors, but also that the church was fertilized with the blood of people known and unknown.
Charles Thomas Walker was a slave himself, and tell us about his pilgrimage.
Oh, he's a unique individual. Born a slave in Hepzibah, Georgia. He graduated from school at what was called the Augusta Institute, which moved to Atlanta and became the Atlanta Baptist Seminary, and then it changed its name and became Morehouse College. He was an early graduate of Morehouse College. He was a contemporary of Booker T. Washington, was in love with Booker T. Washington's philosophy. And the church, which was unfinished, they planned to put an automobile repair facility connected to the church to teach African American men how to repair cars. Now, this was at the turn of the century. Most African Americans did not have cars, let alone most Americans in general. But he believed that if you had a skill, that you would always be able to provide for your family and also to build the community.
You know, I'm thinking of the title of your message, Say Amen. What's it like when those words are said in your church at Tabernacle?
Amen is an affirmation. It says that we are with you. We hear what you're saying, we connect with what you're saying, and preaching is a dialogue in the African American community. It is not just the preacher that is communicating words, but is also the congregation that participates. And when you're on task, when you're right there, they will say amen, saying that I'm with you, I understand, I connect with what you're saying. Now, if you're not on task, they will say, Lord, help them.
I want to ask you, when you cited Say Amen in your litany of the evils we're confronted with in this world, war, oppression, violence, racism, and hunger, homelessness, suffering in general, where's the action in that? I mean, to say amen implies an affirmation that God will take care, but where's the action? Where's the intentionality for the individual person of faith?
Well, it's necessary for us to say amen first in our spirits before we make the action, or simultaneously do it. When Dr. King was working during the Civil Rights Movement, there was a group of people who were saying amen with him by standing beside him. So when we engage any structure or institution or any individual that is presenting something that is antithetical to God, we must bring that affirmation of faith to the table and then create the necessary structures, means by which that we can develop our community so that we can get rid of those things that are destructive to
So say amen becomes a foundation
oh, yes.
for the strategy.
Absolutely.
I wonder, when you were 17 years of age, we have about a minute left, you had an epiphanous moment. You were a track star.
That's correct.
In high school.
Mm-hmm.
And yet you had a revelatory moment in which you decided to answer the call to go into ministry.
Yes.
What was that?
I was on track scholarship at Morehouse. I was planning to go to the Olympics. That was my focus. And as I was finishing my workout, doing my warm down, running around the track, it was very clear that a voice came to me and said, "You need to stop running in circles." I then called my girlfriend, Monica, who is now my wife, and I shared with her that I'm being called to the ministry, but I don't want to be a minister. And she then retorted back to me that we all knew that.
So everyone expected that you would one day be
quite
who
a few
you are
people
today. Otis Moss III, our joy to have you on this program.
It's been a blessing. Thank you.